And welcome back, everybody, to Gears Pro League Split for day number 9. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, joined by the Taco Man himself, and he's eating tacos. That's why he's the Taco Man. Colin, how is it, baby? Because all I heard it was meat and sauce and tortilla. It's really nothing special, but you're loving it,
brother.
Cheese.
Look, you know what
sour
makes it
cream.
special?
Yeah,
It's
made out of
homegrown
love.
beef.
Oh,
That's from about 250 yards that way. That's where that beef was raised.
okay. So you know where it came from. You sourced it.
I know where the hell that beef been. I tell you that much. I tell you where it's going.
I know where it's going to be too. I know where it's going to be in just a little bit. Okay, especially after that fig. Colin, it's been a great night, and we have an amazing series before us, brother. Rebel and Pittsburgh Knights. It had to happen at some point. All right, Identivez versus Monkyz. We had two of the most impactful roster changes that took place at the beginning, or the transition from Split 3 to Split 4. And obviously these two rosters had that. It was mutual on both ends without question.
Was it mutual?
I think it was, at least from what I've heard.
Text messages? How'd you leave me like that? You left me for this? Have you ever seen the movie Troy?
Yeah, of course.
This is that scene. If Monkyz wins this matchup tonight, if he's the MVP and Rebel wins, he's going to be that scene from Troy where he beats up Orlando Bloom. He's going to be like, you left me for this?
Hey, look, we're going to have a deciding winner, baby. I believe, I'm going to have to go back in my notes. I think PK and Rebel have played against each other in E-Days, not Pro League, obviously. It's round robin, you only play each other once. But I believe in E-Days, not so certain. I will check my notes for sure, Colin. But this is a big matchup. Absolutely a massive matchup that is going to meet quite a bit. Now, obviously, we talked about Identivez. He comes back to Pittsburgh Knights to join the likes of Dezo, Raver, and Fearzly. And Identivez, I think personally, has elevated this Pittsburgh Knights roster, and that shows in not only the standings, but also with the way that they play. The pop-off ability and the composure from PK is truly incredible, and Identivez has this innate ability, this uncanny ability to always make a fight competitive even when he has zero chance of doing so.
I mean, there's no doubt about that. He's got swagger. Look, when you meet Identivez, if you ever get the chance to meet Danny, there's something extra about him. You look at him and you feel that extra energy. He's got an aura. He makes you believe that he is something greater than he is. He is just a man, but he is more than a man. He is mythological at times throughout his historical career with the feats that he has pulled off for whatever roster he has been on. On the opposite end of this battlefield, though, is a guy that's trying to make his own legacy, his own name, be that which might be able to compare to one of Identivez. That's Xploidz.
Yeah.
Because that man is one of the most feared snipers to have ever touched the sticks. Of course, you've got Crack, you've got Kardia, and the man that was traded for Identivez, Monkyz. Mr. Consistency, always topping the leaderboards, always showing off with his stats. Stats don't mean a damn
Oh, here
thing
we go.
if you ain't got a ring.
Oh, my
If you
God,
ain't got
dude.
a chip,
You didn't have to go there.
all the stats in the world ain't gonna help you sleep better than some champion shots.
All right. Shops. All right. Well, look, Monkyz, he's the new guy here, but you talked about stats don't matter. Let's talk about the stats. All right. You got Monkyz on the right, Identivez on the left. Now, I'm not a genius, but the stats are very different. In one particular category,
What's that record, though? How that record be looking?
Hey, chill out.
Hey.
The stats are a bit different, Colin, okay? Damage per 10 minutes is looking pretty rough, okay? I can't even lie for the side of Identivez. And then 40th in kill participation at 18%. I could justify that if the damage per 10 minutes was relatively high, because that means Identivez is picking up assist. He's picking up damage done. Monkyz is clearly doing that. And honestly, it's no surprise because Monkyz has, what are you looking for? Who cares? Brother, I care.
Let's talk about the championship.
Okay.
I'm looking for that.
Well, then you're not going to find it between both rosters. You're not going to find,
excuse me. Got one.
Identivez has one. My apologies. Identivez does have one. I was about to say Rebel and PK as an org, they don't have one.
So he knows what it takes, and he knows. Take a look at that. Go watch Ghost Gaming play in Gears 4. They didn't give a damn about their stats. They could have had the ugliest stat lines in the world. Ask J Ribs. J Ribs didn't give a damn what his stat line looks like. But he got a chip.
But did they?
But he got a chip, though.
You keep saying all these theoreticals. Maybe they could have had the most ugliest stats. But did they have ugly stats, Colin? If they won, they probably had some of the best stats out there.
The only person on that team that had good stats was Ribs, and that's because he rolled away from fights instead of just head down and all.
Of course he would. Of course. But he's still a champion.
Right?
Okay?
That's not a knock on Ribs. That's Ribs being smarter than your average bear. He looked at you like Yogi and said, I'm breaking out.
I casted with them for another event a while ago.
A thing.
Come on, it wasn't E-Days, but I was like,
stuttering car, you can't get it out of the clutch.
If you and your taco ass doesn't shut up for a second, bro. Listen, all right? Seriously, listen. You breaking your green screen. I'm starting to see your shambles of a background. Look, Colin, this is what I want to say. Ribs, I was casting with them, and I was like, how many championships you got? I know you won your first and second, so you got 2, right? He goes, I got like 11. I'm like, yo, my bad, bro. I felt so bad for that. I got like 11. I was like, yo, I think it said 11.
You with the dummy digis.
Yeah, or maybe it was 8.
Like, I got like 4, 11. Make you feel okay. He said, no, I got 11.
It was 8 or 11, the upgrade from 7-11. Let's take a look at our maps, all right? Let's take a look at the maps, see what we got, Colin, because I got to keep you. Sometimes you're a train wreck, Colin, but I love it. I'm here to catch you, all right? And then give you a big hug and a kiss on the forehead. Spire checkout. We're not going to see that from Rebel, we're not going to see Reactor either. That's interesting because when I think about control for PK and I think about control for Rebel, like Spire, Reactor, like those are 2 heavy hitters that we're not going to see.
And Regency.
Okay.
Nah, wait. I'm going to go District over Regency.
Okay.
I want to say Harbor, Clock Tower.
Okay.
Oh, Ephyra for the other execution. There's the Harbor. There's the District. I was so close.
But you know what? New life for Rebel if they get to that point, right?
Yeah.
New life for Rebel if they get to that point.
Yeah, new life.
And not new life for Pittsburgh Knights if they get to that point. Like, let's make that very clear because, well, we know who is on that roster. Got Xploidz, right? Ritual, great for PK. Ephyra, excellent for PK. Harbor, honestly, could go both ways. But I think better for PK, but I mean, could go both ways.
It's high tide on Harbor, brother, and I got bad news if you a Rebel fan. Water's deep on them beaches. You ain't gonna be getting no suntan.
That was a very elegant statement that took a while.
You gonna find yourself on the wrong end of a Nasha.
Yeah.
I got bad news, man. That winch fight is bad news for people against P. Have you not watched the Knights on that map? You forget what they do to people.
Are we hyping up PK or are we not hyping up PK? Because you just spent 55 plus minutes saying stats don't matter. And then, like,
I don't even know what their stats on that map. I just watch them beat people up consecutively on it. They out there. They give people elbows like they was the Broad Street Bullies and they was the Flyers in the 70s, son.
All right. All right. So they have not played Harbor in Pro. Who hasn't played Harbor in Pro League? Please tell me PK. Okay. Bro, I was about to be like PK. Colin, stop. Get a hold of yourself, man. Those tacos got you acting something crazy, bro. It must have had MSG in it or something. By the way, it is, in fact, PK and Rebel. They did face off in E-Days 100, and PK beat them 3-0. So.
There's your stats, boy. There's your stats.
Who said no kid talking? I'm not annoyed at. Make no mistake, me and him banter, and this is all like we're just having fun. This is like an act in a way. I'm not annoyed at Colin. Don't ever think that I'm annoyed at Colin because I love when Colin does this stuff. It's actually fun. Trust me, it's just a friendship thing. All right, I got to move the show along. Taylor, who are you going with? It's a hard decision. I got to be real with you, but based off E-Days 100 and based off the energy from Colin, I'm going Pittsburgh Knights. I'm not making a Blaze pick and going Rebel. I'm going PK. I see Zelda. I see nothing else.
Oh, I can't get it. It's not dark enough.
It's a backwards C.
It says stats.
Backwards
3-0.
CO.
I was going to give you your stats. The last time they played was 3-0. There's your stats.
Who are you going for? Are you going pull the ultimate comeback and the ultimate just reverse Uno card and go Rebel, Colin? Just do it. Just do it. Jacob's not passing you. Just do it.
I don't even care if Jacob passed. Y'all feel like y'all act like predictions mean something. You waking up tomorrow
spoken like somebody that's below Twitch chat. Blaze,
you're below Twitch chat.
Me, Blaze,
you're below
Toby.
Twitch chat.
I don't care, but I'm above you. So I'm saying spoken like someone who has no chance in winning. Colin, go with Rebel. Colin, go Rebel.
Taylor, what you
Please
doing
go
down
Rebel.
there, Taylor? What you doing down there? Why are you picking
acting
PK?
a fool. You're acting a fool. Who are you going for? Are you going Rebel or PK?
KNIGHT. That's all you gonna hear from me. Nights.
KINHT. Oh, he spelled nights. I didn't know what he was spelling. I was lost. Vocab is hard.
It's okay, Taylor. We'll get you the spelling bee. We'll get you there.
All right. You know, you won't because I'll be out first round. Spell the HET. Hey, check it out. Chat, who you going for? You going Rebel, you going PK. All right? And that's how you spell hat, by the way, HET. All right, PK across the board, yellow and black, black and yellow. All right, Wiz Khalifa, shout out to you, baby, if you're watching. We really appreciate you being here. Let's get it going, right? We got map 1. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be Ritual. And PK have been incredible on Ritual pretty much through the introduction of Ritual into the competitive rotation, Colin. What do you think Rebel's chances are statistically to walk out ahead on map 1?
Slim to none for Rebel to walk out ahead on map none.
Map none?
Yeah, that's about how many maps they're going to get.
Why are you going in on Rebel so hard? I just want to know. What did Rebel do to you?
They got swept 3-0. Every time I believe in this roster.
Last time I didn't pick them, I lost.
Every time I feel like this roster is going to do something great, all they do is disappoint me. They are the kid that you never want to have. You just look at them and you're like, man, you're going to be something great. And then they never turn out to be nothing. Ain't no legacy. Ain't nothing for you to be proud of. Disappointment.
Yeah. So, I mean, what can Rebel do, Colin? Because I'm out of. I don't know how to build a narrative when you're just like Rebel's not going to be able to do it. All right, fine. Map 5 is where it's going to go. And Xploidz is going to tear it up with the sniper, baby.
So you picking Rebel? You heard it here first, goalie. He's picking Rebel. Change his pick. Change his pick.
I am not.
Change his pick.
I could never. But because again, I've tried. I really have tried, and I've lost. If I'm against them, I'm for them. I just can't win with them. PK is just a good team. They're one of the best teams. I'm actually shocked that never mind. Nope, because I already inherently made a narrative against Rise a little bit earlier, apparently, and then I was the bad guy for that. Chat was like, don't hurt me. I'm sorry for hurting you. All right, for real, though. Heading into map 1, Ritual Control. What does PK do so well, or at least they have consistently, even with the addition of Identivez and the reduction of Monkyz? What makes PK so special on Ritual in your eyes?
The Pittsburgh Knights are extraordinarily special on Ritual for those 2 bottom hills, those back ledge fights. They're 2 of the best teams at retakes at those fights. They actually have a higher retake percentage at those 2 hills than any other team on the face of God's green earth, including Rise, who was undefeated at this point. They play those 2 bottom hills very perfectly, very succinctly. You look at them 75 and 75. You're looking at 150. That's halfway to your 300-point tally that you need. They find those hills very comfortable. They then pick up trash time, 2 top right and left hills. And then, of course, those centerline hills at the altar and at sacrifice. They're also very incredible at keeping those either neutralized or overwhelming that sacrifice hill in particular toward the back lane, especially with flashbangs that go out over the top of the table. I will tell you right now, one of the things that I love about this Pittsburgh Knight team is that they plan ahead. They plan accordingly. They basically take the fights in which they know they need to win to either get a point lead back in their favor or to extend their possible point lead even further and greater.
And another factor as well, one factor that might fly under the radar for the large majority of viewers and, I don't know, maybe even casters, is Fearzly. Fearzly has been incredible in Split 4. And you might not know this, I found this out today, but Fearzly is, at least from my knowledge, the stat leader in KD and KDA. even above Powers. Fearzly is number 1 above everybody else. That to me was shocking to hear. Absolutely shocking to hear, because Fearzly is great. You know, Fearzly absolutely, like, you know, holds his own without question. And I'm like, wow, you know, he's great to watch. But sometimes it gets overpowered by hearing about, you know, Powers making these great clutch plays. And you can't deny that factor. Powers has that Fearzly doesn't. But Fearzly statistically is number 1 in KD and number 1 in KDA, even above Powers, Detox, and the rest of the crew. So PK having that also in their back pocket is absolutely tremendous. Stats aren't everything, but the fact that Fearzly's up there is wonderful. Speaking of which, Fearzly off the rip picks up 2 assists and the Torque Bow, and Pittsburgh Knights, they don't get a team wipe of Rebel, but they get close.
The only player to get a kill from the side of Rebel is right there on Identivez. It was Monkyz waiting for him on the flank. He's going to get that first pick. Fearzly's trying to get super wide, sees that player misroll out, gets the kill onto him. The first pick comes through. Now Fearzly will be waiting on the wings here, left-hand side. What it is they're going to look for maybe a secondary pick over here. Try to get a shot in after they rotate over toward P2. 2 bolts left in the quiver for them to be able to get one more kill and then maybe pressure forward. They see Monkyz out in the middle. Monkyz will up A around the corner, not get picked by that Torque. 1 left to go for him.
All right, at this point, Pittsburgh Knights flawless start, obviously focused on next more than anything. Identivez, he hasn't found too many fights yet, but you better believe he's going to find some relatively soon, especially when he goes to break the hill in conjunction with Dezo and Raver. And Dezo is going to be the tip of the spear. Nice shot. I like that he distances himself. That doesn't open up an opportunity for Xploidz to definitively win a fight. It's just a reset for PK, but not a reset for Rebel. And I mean, things go from bad to worse in a way as Rebel, they just continue to fall like flies at this point, brother. And Pittsburgh Knights, once again, in control of the hill. The way that they broke was just wonderful. Again, the movement from Fearzly just a little bit earlier was great. I mean, I can't say anything wrong about PK.
Looking at here at the front side of the Torque Bow, it's going to be 2 players. Xploidz trying to get the shot over the top, won't be able to get that one to go, and now trying to shoot down onto him is Fearzly. Fearzly's in a 2v1, trying to hold on to that position, maybe to try to challenge up the secondary Torque Bow spawn. Won't be able to get either of those. Kardia is going to pull out the Lancer, have a ton of damage onto Identivez. Identivez tried to slide up into his grill, tries to hit one reaction, won't be able to hit the second one, rolls back over the top of that cover, goes for a back A. Won't be able to get any of those to go. 40 points left on it. Monkyz waiting in the wings, finds one, hits a big shot on Fearzly. Up A's into a second, holds his shot. Won't be able to get that next one either, and he'll get those 2 kills and the new Torque Bow into Crack's hands. 30 seconds left, and I believe you'll see the Knights maybe start to rotate over to P3, maybe challenge to the middle of the map to get him to waste some of these Torque Bow shots.
All right, Crack revving up, 3 shots remaining. Identivez keeping his head low. Dezo is going to put enough shots into Crack to force him to redirect his attention. Identivez will get the nade successfully. And a lot of moving pieces. PK on one end, Rebel on the other. The person who might get isolated is Dezo, but he finds some real estate onto the next hill. Attacking from Rebel side obviously isn't what you want, and especially with Identivez having nades. Granted, though, the Torque Bow is going to be beneficial, but you can't put all your eggs in one basket and just stop your push and wait for Crack to open up a door. No, you have to just try and do it yourself. But from this far away, I mean, you're not going to see anybody. And Fearzly and Raver are looking to hold it down. Crack only has 1 more bow remaining, pulls out the Nasher, and Fearzly and Raver, they're not closing the gap. They understand they're in the power position. It's up to Rebel to push into them, not vice versa. So I like that move. But meanwhile, on the hill, Rebel finds some real estate. And, hey, they're going to make good of it and potentially come back and close the deficit.
Well, what Rebel's looking for is 1 more kill here and try to take over this close respawn. Fearzly's going to find one, tries to roadie strafe into a second. Won't be able to find either of those. Has a little bit of help from the 90 degree right here. Still looking for another rotation into this hill. 1 player hops the drop, and that will be, I believe, Identivez. Joining up with Dezonide. Goes to the back A. Xploidz won't be able to find either of those. He's going to get a big shot onto Identivez there. The kill onto him. Dezonide goes to the up A. Double bounce. Gets the 3rd shot in and the kill. Looking for another rotation will be Dezonide for the 90 degree onto Crack. Nobody challenging from the Torque Bow just yet. All 8 players alive and back onto the map right now. Pittsburgh Knights, this is the map. These are the hills that I said they're very good at retaking. Already in for the neutralization. 1 smoke comes out. Flash will come out to the backside. They're going to roll up right into that cubby. Monkyz will try to get that first shot. He'll go down. They're going to push everybody back at this point. Xploidz goes for the wrap shot. Won't be able to find either of those. Kardia will have the new Torque Bow in hand to rotate into P4.
All right, so that's 2 torque bows to the 1 of PK. Rebels had 2.
Enemy mark!
And this torque bow is going to be very beneficial for the next hook, especially the fact that it's fresh. It should give confidence for Rebel to push up. Even splash damage is going to be enough. And unfortunately, 2 out doesn't amount to much. In fact, Crack is the one who's going to take the brunt of the damage from the torque bow Kardia just sent flying. Simply not going to be good enough yet. Either way, Rebel can't stop. They have to at least contest. Nade out. Kardia has to reposition. Drops down low again. PK still in control of the hill. Rebel not too far out, though.
This is where Kardia to the front side of the hill is going to try to keep his life in his own hands. Dezonide goes super wide with a teammate. They're going to get 1. Plays for the second. Beautiful job just dodging that reaction. Fearzly wins a 1v1 on Xploidz. Love will begin to be pushed forward by the Pittsburgh Knights.
Well done indeed, man. And that push from Deza was all confidence. He pushes out after the nade is thrown. He knows the shot is not going to be shaky. He's going to connect. He does exactly that. Now, Rebel back on the attack for the final time in this hill for the scrap time, of course. And it might be a bit short-lived, Colin. Fearzly will get the finish alongside that of Raver. And Rebel, they had tried to attack again. Pittsburgh Knights were 10 toes down. They didn't back away. They refused to budge. And the lead has now gotten out of control. PK is up 100 points over Rebel.
Devastating in this situation. Let's see what they have here with this next retake. This is one of the hills that I talked about in the early pregame. Knights are good at both taking back and holding against their opponents. A flash will come out. Dezonide will step forward to make sure that he doesn't get stunned out. Answer in his hand. Looking for the angle here onto Kardia. Kardia stands up to get some shots on a Raver. This is going to be Raver holding down the front side of the hill. Looking for somebody to be able to pressure against him. Monkyz on the 1v1 now against Identivez. Identivez only has 8 shots left in his Nasher. Been alive for quite some time. Trying to come in for the revive is Monk. I believe that was Raver, excuse me. Doesn't get the revive to go. This is going to be Xploidz across the map with a torque bow. Doesn't find the stick. Fearzly will back down to, I believe, Kardia here in the 1v1 and will go down. A little retake in the 2v1 here by the side of Rebel. They're in the hill and can get some points back in their favor.
Like you said, points back into favor. Rebels got to get the ball rolling soon. I mean, now they're on their, 3rd torque bow to the 1 of Pittsburgh Knights. But the torque bow honestly hasn't had an impact. And I don't remember Rebel ever getting like a direct connection or a stick. I mean, again, a team damage going their way. The torque bows have been more devastating and more of a help for PK in the hands of Rebel than the other way around. PK easily breaking the hill. The lead will grow. And like you said, we saw that love a little bit earlier. PK knows they're in a confident position. I mean, after all, we're what less than a week or 1 week away from the major. PK is in major form. They're not here to play around. They are here to destroy anybody in their path, and Rebel just happens to be in their path.
It's a damn shame when you find yourself in the middle of the tracks when the train is coming through. Rebel finds themselves in that position right now, fighting back one moment after the next. They're going to get into that next position, into that next hill. A little bit of contestation here from the front side by Rebel to get the down on Fearzly. Monkyz will be looking for the respawns of the Knights. Dezonide with 1. Now Dezonide back A's. Won't be able to get a lot of damage on that first shot. Tries to roadie stray free for the secondary. Won't be able to get that. And there's another down. So Identivez will be sacrificed off to the gods here. With 50 seconds left, I think we might be able to see a rotation from the Knights over to the altar to try to get a torque bow, but beautiful job waiting in the wings over at the torque bow. I believe it was Xploidz with 1 kill.
Nice kill from Mono. He'll now focus his attention up ahead, potentially onto Identivez, who is sent running. Fearzly is there just in case he drops, but luckily Identivez doesn't, so he'll maintain all his down and outs. And Xploidz will pick up yet another torque bow. The 4th torque bow going to the way of Rebel to the 1 of PK. Again, I'm not too worried about that if I was PK because the torque bows have literally done absolutely nothing. And the scrap time, once that takes away, you got to focus on next, which is where we're heading towards. And it's going to be a 3v3 fight for next. And finally, a shot will connect, and it's going to be Xploidz. He'll hit a second. That's who should have had the torque bows all along.
Xploidz making good handiwork of that power weapon right there. 12 seconds left. Still about a 70-point differential between these two teams. The hills will reset in a moment. Fearzly, beautiful first shot. Tries to go for a little fakey up A. Gets taken down anyway. That's going to be Xploidz with a torque bow. Will settle down the tea kettle of 1. 1 bolt left in the quiver. Great job settling in for the reset of the hills here at P1, waiting for the respawns of Pittsburgh Knights to come out here momentarily.
Rebel could still absolutely come back. In fact, I'm impressed that the score is as close as it is with PK. I mean, having that early lead, definitely looking so dominant. I was like, man, this is pretty much going to be over with before it even gets started. But Rebel, to their credit, has absolutely come soaring back. And, I mean, after this hill, potentially Rebel could have the lead. But, man, that push from Pittsburgh Knights is truly devastating, isn't it, Colin?
Devastating indeed. You'll see them push back in. They're going to have one more down to just wait and bleed out. They're going to let that clean itself up. 49 seconds could get them to the 250, 260 marker. That could put them in the position to maybe win on the next hill. They were to hold on to a decent amount, a good chunk of these points. Fearzly will rotate to the front side of the hill. 3 players here. He's going to call out that other player. Beautiful job. I love that little call out by Fearzly. He's going to roll back and try to get himself in a safer position. Rebel has to challenge this right now. They can't just wait for them to push back into this fight. They can't wait for them to give up this positioning. But a first shot kill from Fearzly, and then they get the down. May be able to clean up the last couple of players from Rebel, and that's going to be it. 25 seconds to go. Want to put themselves on death's doornail.
Man, Identivez, torque bow in hand. That's now the 2nd to the 4 of Rebel, but again, no impact aside from Xploidz, who in that kill feed does pick up 2 eliminations. Fearzly will also fall. Scrap time obviously going to the way of PK. Identivez will be challenged, and Kardia is also going to join in. Rebel is over-committing to take down Identivez, so the torque bow goes to waste, and, well, it ends up paying off.
This is going to be one of those situations where Rebel will take a chance. They're going to get that chance to succeed, but it's 256 to 165, about an 80 to 90 point differential. Looking forward, Monkyz will get shots on early. Smoke out toward him. He's going to throw one flash. I believe he actually has Kardia joining him. No, it's Monkyz joining him over here at this right-hand fight. So 2v2 on the map right now, both sides of the map. Beautiful first kill by Dezonide, and he's still alive. Monkyz has to hit a shot right here. Try to put themselves in a better position. They're going to get the down. They're going to get the cleanup as well. Opposite side of the map, you have 1 kill coming through for the side of Rebel. So a 1v1 and a 2v1 breaking out at the hill. But the flank from Kardia off of respawn might be there in just the nick of time. 40 seconds to go. Crack will try to get into this neutralization position. Beautiful job by Deza trying to go super wide, but not going to be able to get enough damage. And Raver now all by his lonesome. Beautiful second shot. Has one down. 1 more to go. It's going to be the revive central. If he can get it off, he's not going to be able to get that one. They get the kills, though. They get the hills, though. And this is going to be down to less than 30 seconds before Rebel really challenges again.
Yeah, Rebel, they are so far away. They definitely will get there to challenge, but 22 seconds, I mean, it's not going to put PK in the winner's circle, but it can get them dangerously close. Rebel now forced to fight for every single inch of the map. They can't back away. They can't back down, but Fearzly's going to force them to do so. 1 player from Rebel is there, and Fearzly, he'll just keep it stagnated as long as possible. Meanwhile, the rotation's going to be in on the opposite side of the map where PK are already ready to go, waiting for Rebel to get there. Fearzly still. Nice shot onto Xploidz. And he's fine with this Rebel member up ahead as well. Like, player 6, if Crack wants to challenge that and go across map, he's like, whatever, go and do it. As long as I keep you away for 19 more seconds off the new hill.
Enemy marked.
What he does here is Monkyz is going to be looking forward. Identivez will try to get into the torque bow area to challenge up. They get the down. He bounces around as much as he can. Hip fire shot from the torque bow. Won't be able to connect with that one. At the hill, 3v1 flying into this position. Gets shut down. Fearzly will be in the hill, and has 5 seconds left. Kardia will have to run straight at the hill. He's going to have to straight line. He rolls out to the right. He's going to have to up A this corner. Doesn't get back A, but he is now full red. He goes down. This will be up to the revives of Rebel to stay alive. 1 second needed for the Pittsburgh Knights to come away with a map 1. 3 flashes in. Now maybe even a 4th. A team kill, though. That could be costly, but Raver is all by himself. Beautiful retake by Rebel.
Wow.
To hold on to this one for the next 35 seconds. They got to be everywhere at all times.
Tell you what, it'd be easy to lie down and die, right? Just chalk it up, go to map 2, map 1 is done with, but Rebel refuses to do that. They fight hard, and they keep PK at 299. They need to be aware of maybe a straggler, maybe player 2, right? Fearzly, who rotates left and gets onto the hill. But Rebel feels confident to go ahead and full send for the next hill. That's going to be their game plan and their game, or at least the plan at the time being. But, I mean, at this point, man, again, PK, who they send a straggler over, player 4 is looking to do it, and this is what I was worried about. When you full send it and you fully commit, you can find yourself in trouble, but Kardia sniffs it out. This would be a tremendous comeback for Rebel, and they're making it look like they can absolutely do it.
monumental collapse by Pittsburgh Knights if Rebel is somehow able to come back into this. Dezonide is going to get that first level of damage on. Monkyz is waiting in the wings here on the right-hand side. He's going to get tagged up. Not full red exactly. Identivez is maybe looking for that extra angle. Fearzly's going to 1v1 against Kardia on the opposite side of the map. Curious why he hasn't taken that. They're going to bring one player out of the hill. Try to enact the 2v1 here. Dangerous to do this. It's 3v2 into the hill now. Flashes will come. Crack will get that first shot on. Secondary flash comes in. They don't go for the revive on that player. They go for the back A for the final kill. Crack has to rotate around. He can't leave the hill. They are stuck inside of this. This is an exact Royal Rumble situation. They've got to stay in the hill and continue to push different players out of it, one after the next, and 35 seconds to go. There is enough time on this hill to win this map.
This would be just huge for Rev. I mean, absolutely massive. PK realistically has one final chance to break the hill. I mean, that's it. Or at least keep it contested for enough time, which that's probably the best case scenario. But here we go. They're pushing up. Smokes are out. Identivez Torquebo in hand.
Station is really all they need, Taylor.
That's all they need, but I mean, there's no harm or foul in fully committing for this either, but also sending a player hightailing it,
they want to hold
the
this side of the map. It's going to force them to win fights and get across on this side of the map. I was so certain that the Knights were going to just wait on this side, force them in a defensive stand, and then try to rush the next hill. Everybody's dead. Who's coming off of respawn first? It's going to be Dezo.
Player 3.
At the Torquebo. Then Fearzly.
Oh,
everybody off the spawn. 5 seconds to go. Smoke's going to be out. Dezo's going to be shot from the front. This is the biggest collapse I've seen in FOMO's forever, Blade. Oh my God, I called the wrong person. I'm so shocked, Taylor.
What? What?
How?
300 to 299. Rebel wins map 1. I am beyond shocked at this point. That is just wow. What do you even say to that? Like, yo.
Look, there's not much to say. It took a monumental collapse on the side of the Knights. Rebel had to play perfectly for over 150 points just about, and they pull it off. That is the differential. That is what wins them that map, is coming back from that kind of differential, from being that far down. I am beside myself. Kudos to them for pulling it off, but good gracious.
I mean, it's funny because I have seen PK lose Ritual in this fashion at least 3 other times. Yeah, at least 3 other times. Now, I think it's been to E United. I think Rise maybe once, but for Rebel to do that is just astounding. And because you go back to how they started. I mean, they were losing every single fight, left and right. Torquebos, no impact at all until Xploidz picked up, I believe, the 4th one. And finally, we saw some shots being connected. But before then, the Torquebo was only doing team damage to Rebel themselves. I mean, literally, Rebel looked like they were in absolute shambles. And then PK gets, honestly, PK got way too comfortable with the lead that they had. They were showing love, which I wasn't against. If they won, I'm not criticizing that. And even now, I'm not really criticizing because they were feeling it at the beginning. But, like, there is a moment at times where teams get so close to victory that they just take it for granted. And I think that happened with PK in this map.
I look back at this, and there were times where I think PK has to be a little bit better in those situations of not staggering. There were so many times where the Knights found themselves just sending a person here, sending a person there, and then getting themselves in a worse and worse position. And that's what ends up leading to these massive monumental point exchanges. When you see, when you see a team staggering the way that they do, you've always got a number advantage, and you're able to use that to the best of your ability to keep your opponent on the back foot, and Rebel did that.
Yeah. I'm blown away. I mean, that is impressive, Colin. Like, that is sincerely impressive. 299 to 200. 299 to 200 before Rebel clears 100 points and keeps Pittsburgh Knights at 1 point. That is, like you said, you're beside yourself, I'm beside myself. That is just spectacular. Well done, Rebel. The composure from that comeback is just absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And now puts them in the realm, like, the discussion has to be like, when Rebel's playing, you just never know. You just simply never know. I am astounded. I'm astounded.
I'm right there with you. Hey, look, I keep stuttering and stopping, but it is one of those things that just cannot be understated. I am shocked beyond all belief that that's how that map turned out. Kudos to Rebel. Happy for them to actually win that first map. Can they do it 2 more times? Can they somehow find the win over the Pittsburgh Knights? This would be, again, after such a monumental, devastating point lead, that is such a monumental collapse that it just seems almost improbable. Not necessarily impossible, but it's on the closest edge of impossible as possible.
What makes it so astounding to me is not necessarily the 300 to 299, because we've seen scorelines like that, and that's always spectacular to see. But it's the fact that PK was at 299 and Rebel was at 201 before they started coming back. Like, a comeback like that, honestly, that is the worst. That's the worst comeback I've ever seen. If I think so, anyways.
Worse than like point differential? You mean worse like
worse than point differential? Like for a because I've seen teams like on Regency, for example, in the last split, I think Team Queso or whatever, like they were down 297 to like 230 something or 240 something, and they came back and they won like 299 300. But like to be like near, like almost more than 100 points down and then come back and win 300 299, like that is the worst collapse I've ever seen from a roster. Like, PK dropped the ball. Like, that's tremendous. That's incredible.
I love the idea that he had when he went to sneak over to P3 before that mid neutral lane hill came out. He tried to sneak over. He started
for the final point.
There was a part of me that thought he went for. I think if I could see it again, it would be better. But I'm pretty sure as he came around that little cubby, he went for maybe a reaction or a back A toward the opponent that was chasing him. And I think he would have actually been safer to go to the top of the ledge because there's still that little bit of hill that's in that spot. And he can use the top of the ledge to back A out, do whatever he needs to do, and keep himself a little bit safer from the Lancer fire coming from that P4 area, which either draws that player further away, and now you have the 3-2 back at the old hill, or that player goes back and you have a true 1v1, and if you find a way to win it, you win the map. Also, on the next rotation in, he missed 4 straight torque bow bolts with no splash damage even. He at least had splash damage with, I think, at least one on the player that was chasing out against him in the middle of the map. But in toward the hill, I didn't see him hit anything.
Yeah. Identivez, how does he finishes 217 and 25. He only had 12k damage. So we talked about that damage per 10 minutes and how his, stat line was like super low. We compared him to Monkyz. Monkyz
he's playing too much up, I think.
You think so?
Like, he's not playing enough around his teammates necessarily, rather than to the front of his teammates. And one of the things that I think has been really good to see from like a Dezonide is Dezonide has learned to do both, where Dezonide in that map had a lot of good, crucial, up-in-your-face kills. But there were so many other times where he had out the snub, he had out the Lancer. He had the ability to pull a weapon and be able to add damage to help his teammates, add damage to make sure his teammates had a little bit better and easier of a time in their fights. Whereas I think Identivez' big struggle is he's making so many good moves around the map, but it's all for naught because all of his moves are to engage somebody in the CQC. Do you get what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting down?
I am. My biggest concern, Colin, for PK at this point is, I hate to do it to you, but we're heading into the final major. Okay, I gotta add gravity to the situation. All right, gotta add gravitas because this is like serious. Like, we're heading into the final major, and PK loses a map like they just did. That shows serious concern on my part. PK is a powerhouse team heading into the major. Narrative is going to be, I already said what I said about KCP. PK, I think, is the favorite Latin American team to win. That's just the way that I feel about it. I really do. But Rebel just became more of a threat. But for PK to lose like that shows some serious concern on my part. But it happens, honestly, it happens. But it shouldn't happen. It can't happen. But PK's got to lock it down, dude, because that right there is just embarrassing. Straight up. That's embarrassing.
The biggest worry for me for the Knights is the simple fact that I have never felt, seen, or heard anybody that was I don't want to say afraid, but there is a certain level of respect that is just beyond, kind of your normal amount. You saw it with Reciprocity when they went to Mexico City. They took everybody's best shot. Everybody gave them all they had every single round out. And the team that came closest was Rated R from across the pond. That was the team that gave them the best run for their money. Everybody else, Reciprocity took care of business. Way back in the day when they were Splice, when they were Ronin, whatever iteration before they were the Knights of the best LATAM players, no one ever saw that team come up late on a Sunday and had that same level of fear as if you saw Optic come up and Envy come up. Not even Elevate. I don't even put Elevate, those old Elevate rosters with Crazed and all them, Crazed and Ash and all those guys from across the pond. They didn't even get that. It was literally reserved for like 2, maybe 3 teams at one point. That's what scares me, because you look at this, there is a chance that the Knights just continue to have these kind of collapses because players never feel like they're out of it. I mean, brother, give Rise 299 to 200. Tell me the outcome of that match 100% of the time.
Yeah, it doesn't. Like, dude.
That's the difference.
So at this point, and it was a great point brought up in chat. Like, at this point, we're obviously I think we're guaranteed a map 4. At this point, I do. Ephyra is just so strong. So, I think map 5 is. I mean, and again, Rebel has Xploidz on Canals for map 5. Like PK lets that slip through, and with the assumption, like we had, that it wasn't going to map 5. Now that map 5 is looking pretty decent at this point, especially if these next 2 maps go to the way of Rebel, which, as I've
next
said,
2 maps go the way of Rebel, it's over. It's 3-0.
Well, if one of the next 2 maps goes to Rebel, apologize. My bad.
Hey, I'm right there. I'm picking up what you're putting. I was like, wait a minute.
But Ephyra shouldn't go their way. PK's great on Ephyra, but like Harbor, as much as you say PK's great on Harbor and Rebel hasn't played Harbor, like still Rebel's, I say, a great Harbor team, dude. So that could be the 2-1 lead that they were looking for. That's all I'm saying. Like, PK's got to play this very carefully. Very carefully. And we're waiting for everybody to get in the lobby, by the way. The match will be starting relatively soon.
No, it's clearly my fault. It's me.
Well, it is your fault that Rebel came back and won. And I'll tell you why. It's because you were smack talking them so hard, bro. That this was bound to happen, Colin. Press the button.
There we go. I needed to get it focused.
Okay. All right. Okay. I like it. We're starting the map, baby. This is going to be a big telling point of what Pittsburgh Knights is going to be for the rest of the series. How hard are they going to come out the gates after losing 300 to 299? More importantly, just to add more gravity, like after losing when they were up 299 to 200 on map 1 Ritual Control. If they just come out flat, their mentality's hurting. If they come out strong, PK's all right. They're on the come up. They'll be just fine. But these first couple of rounds, Colin, to me, it's going to mean a lot.
I mean, that's the thing that we've always talked about with the Knights, though. They are an extraordinarily emotionally based team. They rise and fall with the tides. They've got to find a way to level that out. I for one, don't know how you level that out. I've always been a guy that, you ride high on your emotions, and if that's who you're going to be, you're going to ride on that same level.
Sure. Well, let's get it going. Map number 2. Rebel leading 1-0 in this series. And Mono already getting early down onto Raver. Quickly traded as Pittsburgh Knights will lose. Or excuse me, Crack will be dropped. And this is a big moment for Fearzly to keep the odds in PK's favor. But as he does drop, it's going to be a 2v2. The chance for Rebel to take map 1, or round 1, excuse me, is still available. And Kardia picking up the drop.
See what they do here, where the next player will be rotating to the bottom side. That's going to be Dezo. 2v2, drop versus Torque. Drop in this situation could be a little more advantageous because you look at the 2 rockets, the 2 possible kills that you need. You got to find somebody. I think you need an early call out, basically. You need to know where somebody's trying to rotate to so you can try to meet them with the rocket. You don't want to shoot it at somebody that has a chance to roll away at any given point in time.
So this is going to be a fun kind of ending. Now, Identivez, look at him being all sneaky. Oh, the roll. It would have been nice to see maybe bot walk up, but he's going to choose to join his teammate down low, which is fine. So, shoulder to shoulder, that's cool. And if there can just be one call out, maybe on the forward player 7 Identivez with an active in play, it's going to be hard for Identivez to clear that corner and get away. But the time being, Identivez, he might make a move. I think he pushes this. No, he goes to back away. The drop shot's going to hit him. He's going to die. And now it's up to Dezo in a 1v2.
Tries to shoot out that first torque bow at the ground. Doesn't get the splash damage he wants, but the active drop is in, and it's perfect. That's the only time I would really favor the drop shot, when you come down to those final few moments where you know it's like a 2v2, a 1v1, something where you might be able to trap your opponent down toward a hill. Take a look at this drop, bounce off of the front of Identivez, land right back into the front of Identivez there.
Let's go, wallop those wallopers.
Well, jury's still out whether or not PK is going to be just fine in this series, but starting off round 1 like that, it was close. So I think PK's still doing just fine. Let's see what Rebel does. Xploidz has a chance. First blood will go to the way of Rebel. Second will also go their way. This could be a flawless round, Colin. The last one alive is going to be Fearzly. He's down, and a team ace goes to the way of Rebel.
Beautiful round by Rebel, up 2-0 now. Looking to try to keep this advantage in their favor as they will push on forward here and continue to try to keep the Pittsburgh Knights off balance round in and round out. They've done a good job of it in the first 2 rounds. They won the initial, but then they rotated out for the drop shot, lost a couple of players, had it evened up on them 2v2. Second round, they get the perfect teammates. Round 3, rolling out of spawn here, looking to come up into the middle of the map. Let's see what they do.
Let's definitely see what they do. Player 6 is going to get a free torque. That's going to be happy news for Dezo. Xploidz theoretically get a free drop shot. There was a little bit more turmoil in the hotel and drop shot side, but no team has lost a member just yet. Might be justification enough to use the drop. Nope, they're going to hold on to it. Xploidz will pick up Fearzly. Dezo gets a nice shot onto Crack. So 3v3. And this is going to be a tricky shot. It's going to miss. So one more remains. Identivez effectively baits out one.
We're going to try to bait out maybe another one here. 3v3. 3v2 now in favor of Rebel. Man advantage we go. Looking at the Knights. They don't have the torque bow to use. Drop shot being traded back and forth. Just trying to find that right angle. Trying to find that right player to have one of the power weapons in their hands to try to shut this down toward the end of goings. Needing to get a sneak kill over here. I think somebody's just waiting in the wings, maybe trying to get a quick one.
It could be. Identivez, he has a real chance here. There's a couple too many shots, unfortunately. Still has his life, and that's valuable for sure. Raver calling out the numbers, but I mean, you already know where they're going to be, right? They're focused their attention on potentially the overtime hill coming into play relatively soon. Tough going for Raver and Identivez. Torque bow revving up. Might get some splash damage, but that's going to be it. Identivez will effectively dodge it. Overtime starts in 25 seconds. And for Raver and Identivez, they're going to clear both ends of the map to maybe pincer in the 3 members for Rebel.
Coming to this next position here. Torque bow out. We'll get some splash damage. Identivez is going to get double shot there and taken down. And the drop shot on the opposite side gets a kill. Another round in the pocket of Rebel. They are up 3-0.
I should have listened to you. You were like, but you going Rebel, change your pick. Voice the guy, can he do it? And I was like, no, man, I'm going PK. Colin, you nearly did it for me, baby. Would have been over
through a
chat.
game for chat.
Remember what
you change your pick once.
You tried. But I wasn't a believer.
Nothing else I can do.
But I can't win with Rebel. Bet for him, bet against him, bro. Rebel, it's gonna be the complete opposite. Maybe this is truly the curse, the final level, the final boss. There's 2 down. PK are in shambles. Absolutely in shambles, my guy. That map 1 hurt them. They came out on map 1, Colin, with the most confidence. On fire, right? Showing love, mid-map, no worries in the world, having fun, smiling, just goofing around. Justified at the time, though. I want to make that clear. To just losing 300-299. You got 3 members on PK who are all 0-4. Matter of fact, Dezo, the only one with 3 kills. The only one who kills in general. I mean, PK are hurting.
Hurting indeed, like a man has been wounded. Will the wounded animal fight back sooner or later? That's the Pittsburgh Knights coming into the drop shot fight. This is going to be Raver taking over the drop. Meanwhile, Opposite end, Crack will have the torpedo to use. He's going to be bringing that right back up into the ledge area, looking across the 90-degree angles of this map, looking for the extra angles across the front side. Right here, you got to bring the torque onto the porch so that you can look inside of the hotel or outside toward the drop, but you've got to clear it out first. You got to have somebody kind of be the sacrificial lamb, maybe take a drop shot.
I think it's more so PK is just holding their ground. Rebel, they're the team that the burden's on them to open up an opportunity. And they have a chance. I mean, Fearzly's effectively by himself. He does have help. The drop shot's going to split the dividend, take down Kardia. Pittsburgh Knights, a rare first blood going their way.
We're going to try to continue to take advantage of it. 3v4 on the map right now. Torpedo out by Crack. Won't find anybody with that first one. Now trying to rotate in through the mechanics. Looking for some extra angles here. Out toward the far right of the map now. Still not sure where he's going to take this next shot. I mean, this is where things get a little eerie because they do have an opportunity to just kind of hide away from that torpedo. Let it rev up. Let him waste as many bolts as he wants.
Okay, so Pittsburgh Knights have a good chance taking this round, stopping the bleeding. I mean, getting anything going at this point is just going to be huge for them. The fact that it's in hotel should benefit Pittsburgh Knights. I like that Raver is also, he has the shock, plus he's on the outside. Another one going their way. Crack will pick up one with the torque bow. Storm is about to capture. Rebel's not anywhere close. The shock is also going to stop him. Good effort, though, with the torque, but it wasn't enough. Finally, PK puts a point on the board.
Pittsburgh Knights put one onto the board. Slow and steady won the race for them that round, and curious to see if they continue to play that slow and steady, that slow, methodical pace for the rest of these rounds, trying to continue to come back into this.
All right, so let's see another initial. Maybe PK starts stringing together some rounds, get that confidence back, get the blood flowing. They need it for sure. And we'll see a heavy side attempt to go for the drop shot for Pittsburgh Knights. And same thing, the energy is going to be matched from Rebel. This is a big opening kill. Raver Xploidz at a bit of a standstill. Raver's going to hit a nice shot. Kardia is going to follow it up with his own. Raver, 1v2, big position. He'll fall. Identivez, 2v1. To his credit, picks up one. And now he can double back and get the torpedo. Still doable from PK's perspective.
Torpedo picked up by Identivez, bottom side of the map, 2v1. Drop shot in the hands of Monkyz. This will be 5-1 if Identivez cannot find a pick onto either player. He's just scanning back and forth. I think he's just outside of the sight line of that one player. He's going to back up now. He's going to be marked. They know where he is. He's trying to get that mark off of him. Monkyz might go for that top drop. He might go for that shot over the top of the ledge. This is what I was talking about earlier, where Identivez just loves to engage those positions.
Woo. All right. Colin, I don't know, man. PK at this point. First off, excuse me. Let me stop focusing on PK. Monkyz is 11-1. 11-1. He's got 3 first bloods, 7,100 damage done. We looked at the stats between Identivez and Monkyz, right? That was our key player matchup, and Monkyz is shining bright like a diamond. And I don't mean that in jest. I really don't, man. I mean, he is just on fire. 11-1. And Rebel's on fire as a whole. I mean, I am blown away by the performance. This is the energy that I've been wanting to see from Rebel for quite some time, and you do see glimpses of it, but I mean, it's neither here nor there, but this is the energy going into the major that or at least what is expected and what is needed. Good opening pick, Kardia is down. So Pittsburgh Knights, once again with first blood, can they convert it to a win?
Looking to see if they can get another couple of kills here. 4v3 on the map right now, rotating around. Monkyz will rotate off to the back side of the map, back to their original spawn side, and look for where the Knights decide to rotate in here. Knights, in the meanwhile, are just trying to hear sound cues. I think they're trying to slowly stalk out these players from Rebel.
So things will slow down just a bit. That's okay, though. Is Raver? Raver's down low, isn't he? Yeah, he is. Okay, excuse me. So for player 2, if he decides to make that push, which you can't because player 8's also there. So that's going to stay stalemated for a little bit of time. And I believe it's going to really pay off when the overtime hill comes into play. That's when everything is going to kind of pop off. Pittsburgh Knights, I like the fact that they are not. Once again, you know how they won that one round, right? The one round that they currently have.
Slow and steady.
Slow and steady, and force Rebel to be the guys to push up and potentially make a mistake.
Gonna try to make it happen again. Monkyz with the drop shot. 2 rockets to his name. 1 active is out. Gonna shoot one at the top of the stairwell, trying to get 1 kill. He rolls out of the way. Be able to get that first one. Quick little reload comes out here. Xploidz is gonna go down. Drop shot in. We'll get a ton of damage. Beautiful shot by Monkyz. 12, 1, and 4 now. Engaging in another 1v1 down at the bottom. 2 teammates will be enacting it themselves very quickly, and that's gonna be the kill with the torque bow after the down has come out.
All right, so cool. Pittsburgh Knights staying alive a bit longer maybe could, in fact, give a taste of Rebels medicine, right? That they obviously force-fed to Pittsburgh Knights a little bit earlier on Ritual. To come back here would be massive. We're still very far from that point. A lot of work needs to be done, but I mean, after all, for PK, they are showing, bits and pieces of hope. Now, one thing that has been tapered off, though, is their aggression. PK hasn't been aggressive like they normally are in Ephyra. That's what makes them strong. Taking the fight in the hotel, being violent on the initials. PK are almost timid in a way, and Rebel is using that to their advantage to cover the gap and clear the ground. But Dezo with the big opening kill. Every round PK have won pretty much have been off the back of a solid first blood. Maybe this is another round going their way.
Here, take this one.
Xploidz switching the drop shot over to Monkyz. I like that play. Monkyz has been your star player really for the entire one of these situations, and you give him the power weapon yet again to look for the rockets in his pocket to be able to drop onto his opponents. Dezo looking back into the middle of the hotel, doesn't find anybody, doesn't get any intel off of it either. Just rotating around. Again, they're just looking for sound cues. They have the man advantage. They're giving themselves the opportunity to try to find a player that might be roadie strafing around, might be not paying attention to how much noise he is making, and then they might be able to jump him if he's out of position as well.
My only concern is normally it's PK who's able to set up, and then Rebel has to push into them. This time, Pittsburgh Knights have to push into Rebel, and they do have the man advantage, which is great, but because they have to push forward, it opens up a chance for Rebel to maybe catch a straggler, or, I don't know, Monkyz to obviously hit a critical shot with the drop, which that's going to be the key factor. And Pittsburgh Knights have just 20 seconds that they have to push up. I'm still worried they're going to lose this. Dezo's down. The drop is out. It doesn't connect, and Monkyz won't get back up.
What a shock. That is a beautiful shock to try to stop him from shooting the secondary drop-off. 3v3 now, about to be enacted. 1 player for the Knights is close to the hill. 2 players for the Knights are close to the hill. Another drop comes out. Monkyz is going to get caught out on the front side of that hill. Shot over the top. Identivez tries to double bounce into a secondary fight, trying to take a 2v1 here. He's been able to get the win, jumps into the hill, tries to go for that quick little play, avoids another drop shot, but goes down, and Rebel goes up 2-0, Taylor.
I mean, I am blown away, dude. Like, Ephyra is one that has always been so incredibly strong from, Pittsburgh Knights' perspective. But, I mean, Monkyz, the stats are before you, 13-2. I'm blown away. I mean, I continue to say that, but that's the best way to put it. Rebel have been absolutely on fire. And, I mean, once they caught wind, brother, it has been hard to slow them down. Rebel, well done. They lead 2-0. PK, we need an answer on Harbor. They'll be coming up after the break. Welcome back, everybody, to Gears Pro League Split for Day 9. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, joined by Colin and Crow Clark. Colin, I mean, I have almost no words for the performance of Rebel. They are absolutely on fire. Monkyz just incredible. 13-2, 10k damage. Kardia 5-2-8. I mean, for Rebel as a whole, just spectacular. And clearly, PK hurting after that 302.99 loss on map 1. They haven't looked the same since.
They have not looked the same since that map 1 loss. They're about to go into this harbor, and everything for this matchup is now on the line for them. They got to come away with not just a win, but a devastating win to at least try to answer back. That's the way that's the position they find themselves in now.
No, just the biggest thing for me is Rebel are obviously playing out of this world, But the concern that I have for PK, Colin, is going back to a point that I briefly brought up. Like, they're not aggressive anymore. And that aggression works for Pittsburgh Knights so incredibly well. They're playing like they're timid. They definitely tried off the start on Ephyra. Like, they tried to, you know, hit Rebel hard in the hotel fight. Like, you could see that was apparent, but they were shut down several rounds in a row. And then after that, PK based all of their strats on playing low and slow, right? Getting first blood and then backing away, holding their position, which is good. That works. And I have nothing against that, quite honestly. You know, that was the 2 rounds that PK won, but PK, again, is a team that prides themselves, or at least I have, on aggression and pushing and being up in your face because they know they can win every fight. But that timidness is genuinely there, and it's shocking to see. PK are shook.
I think the only way I can respond to that right now, Taylor, is the Knights' timidness boils down to me from just a level of fearless play coming out from the opposite side, coming out from Rebel. Rebel right now, I mean, they are playing like some demons on the map. They are just absolutely flying at different fights. I mean, it's almost unholy how demonic they're playing.
You're talking about for Rebel? Yeah, yes. I mean, just it's crazy. I mean, it's funny because before this series, we were harping, you know, really heavily on how Rebel's not going to be competitive in this series, which I think was very valid at that time and point. But again, for Rebel, dude, if they play like this in a major, I don't know. I mean, I really don't know how far they can go. Like, they would have to play at this intensity every series. Obviously, that's how you win a major, but this Rebel roster is sincerely incredible. And we have a big dichotomy between, you know, even like, just to hone in again on the key player matchup, like Monkyz and Identivez, there's been no comparison, brother. Like, there really has been zero comparison. Monkyz has been just heads and shoulders above what Identiv stats are putting out there. You know, I really am blown away.
But I don't think you make that trade for the regular season, if that makes sense. You're not making that trade for him to. You're not making that trade for Identivez. Again, I talk about the stats.
You're doing it for the yeah, right.
You don't make that trade for the pro league. You're making that trade just to get major time Identivez.
Right.
But still,
yeah, no,
again, I look at the way this series is playing and just
I mean, dude, make sense of it for me.
No, it's the most sense I can make out of it is just simply because you see what Rebel's doing. Or Rebel's playing up aggressively against the Knights, but they're not also giving a bunch of angles out to the Knights. The Knights have not had an answer for a lot of that play style from the Pioneers. I mean, go look at the matchups between the Pioneers and the Knights in majors. When the Pioneers just played in the face of the Knights, the entire matchup didn't give them any room to breathe. And the Knights struggled with that. They just kept finding themselves down in matches, down in maps, and couldn't find a good answer for it. So it's almost like Rebel's trying to adopt that blueprint, really.
Sure, and why not? If you know how to beat your roster or the other roster, I mean, mentally, on the battlefield, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, you can beat them in multiple different ways. And at this point, I think PK is definitely losing in multiple regards. Harbor should be... Honestly, Harbor was that map that me personally, I thought was going to be the closest one. I didn't expect Ritual to be all that close. I didn't expect Ephyra to be all that competitive. Honestly, I thought PK was going to take a 2-0 lead heading into map 3. Was it going to be a 3-0? I mean, that was still out, you know, out in the universe. I didn't know because I think Harbor is going to be relatively even. But I mean, no, this is scary for PK without question. They can lose this series 3-0. And now, best case scenario, Colin, they've got to now beat Rebel on Canals. Like, that's terrifying to me because you go against Xploidz. Like, nothing is looking good for PK at this point.
Not a thing. Again, it's a really weird situation to put the Knights in, but the Knights have got to win 3 straight maps. And the last time I think, actually, the last time I casted over the Pittsburgh Knights in this situation, they were down 0-2 to the Pioneers.
Yes.
Went to a map 5.
That's correct. You are right about that. They were down 0-2 against the Pioneers, and they came back and they won the series. Again, though, but Canals, map 5, like, bro, that's scary because of Xploidz.
Play away from him. Play through back connector. Make him play closer than he's comfortable with that long shot out.
I just don't know if PK is going to like be humble enough to do that, you know, especially if they go to map 5. I think they're going to really try and shut him down, like just mano a mano, like, you know, that's what I really think. I'm trying to look at Rebel, and
it's really look at Rebel right now, like really look at their players, Taylor, like really just
listen. No, hey, because Ink's in chat. You know, and Ink said we have one.
Well, he said we have one bad series, and they count
against Fury.
How you got that many losses then? If you only got one bad series,
well, they have 2 losses. Rebels only lost twice.
So one bad series got you a double loss.
No, they've lost to Rise. They've lost to Fury 1. So technically, like obviously their standings a bit lower, but they still are 5-2, which is the same record as PK. So like to that credit, like. Rebel is, technically a better roster, it seems. I'm going to, like, I mean, I'm even looking at, like, because I don't just look at Pro League. Like, Pro League is one thing, and Pro League is definitely, like, the pinnacle. It's big. But, like, I look at E-Days as well, and Rebel's, like, been very non-existent when it comes to E-Days. Aside from...
Yeah, it's like, again, it's Jekyll and Hyde.
They won one,
the one time that I pick Rebel, they get blistered. Just absolutely obliterated. And every time I pick against them, they play extraordinarily well. It's almost like there's a whole different team ready to play at the drop of a hat.
I know. It's
the second I pick against them, it's like, all right, load it up.
Yep.
Load it up.
Yep. Again, like, I'm looking at my notes.
I just want you to know the voice of God right now is like, thank God these people are in the lobby.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm looking at Rebel. So, like, Rebel has... I'm going, like, literally... I have 2 notebooks now because, just the way that it works.
Look all you want.
No, but I'm just saying, like, in E-Days, they've only made it to semifinals once. Who did they beat?
Because it's,
I'm trying to find why this is happening, and I can't find out why. They beat KCP 3-1. But, like, okay, KCP doesn't play well in E-Days, it just, where did this, like, Handles loves when I say that. Like, where did this come from? I don't know. I'm bloweth the way, bro. But anyways, we're going into map 3. Harbor. Potentially a turning point for Pittsburgh Knights or Rebel all of a sudden, man. I mean, they're going to get a tremendous victory. But will they get a tremendous victory? The winch fight. Let's see how it's going to end up unfolding. It's definitely chaotic for sure. PK's making some headway, but Mono on the flank looks to go to be the great disruptor, but it won't happen. Round 1's going to end quickly.
Yeah, trying to trot on over for the triple cap domination. 3 players are here, 3 players are in, 3 players are about to be out pointing a weapon wherever they wish to, probably a bolt tie.
All right. I think that's spot on. Can't even lie. So, a dominating first round for Pittsburgh Knights, even with Monkyz going up top and doing what, Identivez loves to do, right? Identivez goes up top and then tries to flank around. Only 1 kill go to the way of Rebel. And this time, like you said, the Boltox, they'll be placed, and the winch fight will be played once new. Hey, Colin, nothing has been orthodox in this series, baby. We got a sniper immediately placed by Rebel.
Oh, man.
Long shot placed out early. Advantage here. Who can take over this middle of the map. Raver is going to be getting into a position to maybe go for the quick pick. This is going to be Raver trying to add in fights. There's a big shot there. Tries to get a secondary shot on Kardia. Won't be able to get that. Kardia will go down. Monkyz will be next in line. Fearzly is going to come on the flank. They get 3 up and 3 down. Early in this one. Crack, the only player alive for Rebel, will get a kill there on Identivez and will rotate her. Oh, I thought that was a heady for a second. My boy.
My boy.
I almost lost it.
All right, so it is going to be Pittsburgh Knights with the objective so far, plus the scary sniper in Raver's hands.
I see one!
And for Rebel, they got to find a way to break through, which is not going to be easy at all. It seems that they are stacked heavily, obviously, to push up ramp or through winch, and then maybe overextend home to home. Player 6 crack might break away to challenge player 4. Comes the push, the smoke is out, one mark was in. Raver sends a shot flying, he doesn't connect. Second one, Nasher now out, and up close and personal we go, and into the blender Rebel goes. That's 3 gone, and Crack is pretty much by his lonesome as Pittsburgh Knights look to close the vice grip, and another quick round. Not quicker than round 1, but I mean, hey, quick enough.
Quick enough to satiate the appetite for a little bit of a team fight. That long shot really did alter that initial, but not enough to where you really felt like you were going to be threatened out. But 3 early kills allows you to push across the map pretty succinctly.
All right. So Sniper doesn't help, and neither does the winch fight. Rebel, they're grasping at straws to figure out what is going to work in this case. Again, they haven't played Harbor competitively, in Pro League at least, this entire split. So now in the final week, they are forced to play it. And they wanted to play it. I mean, surprisingly, they did pick this map, so they felt very confident. And again, historically, Rebel is a very talented roster on Harbor, just like Pittsburgh Knights are. Battle underway. Raver opposite of Kardia. Identivez on the winch fight, just opposite of Mono. And this is so fitting that these two players are in a head-to-head.
Yeah, without a doubt, front side of the winch. Let's see what they can do here. Waiting for somebody to maybe throw a flash for him, maybe somebody to add a little help for one or the other. And just trying to bait out the rotation and from Monkyz as well, and ends up getting the kill there and pushes across a little bit, but again has his Nasher out, has no way to throw out any medium to long range damage.
Identivez just absolutely head down. He had his teammate next to him. It works out. I mean, Raver still makes great headway and pushes up. And he's going to go ahead and double back and assist for the B-Hill. Player 7 is going to meet him. In the meantime, though, Kardia is going to be in conjunction with Crack as they push forward onto Fearzly. Fearzly tries his best, but it's not going to be enough. And Rebel will retake successfully the neutral.
It's going to be Identivez rolling back over out of spawn just outside of his own home hill. And we'll be waiting for his teammates to come back off of spawn before maybe going for a retake here shortly.
All right. Let's see that retake. Definitely needed from the side of Pittsburgh Knights. Deza holding the top side. He'll take a little bit of damage, but he'll be all right. He'll be able to reset. In the meantime, the Cavalry is here in conjunction with Raver and Fearzly. They're going to push up. That forces Kardia as well as Mono back. A lot of emphasis being placed on the sniper from Xploidz. Can't blame the guys on Rebel. I really can't. Parking the bus in this moment does work out for the best anyways. And Raver through the smoke. Looks to push up, but PK. They can't be stopped. Yeah, they can be.
I was gonna say they can't be, but so reckless they will find themselves getting their head clapped off by Xploidz. This is gonna go down, and while they're trying to fight across the map here, beautiful job by Xploidz holding his shot, waiting for that player to try to up A around that corner and getting that kill pretty succinctly. This should be a Rebel round. This should be 2-1 here shortly.
It definitely should be. I mean, unless a miracle happens from Pittsburgh Knights' perspective, but 20 seconds, you got to clear the map. I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. That was a good played round from Rebel. I mean, really well played indeed, and a lot went right for them to do it. They ended up making it happen. And for Rebel, let's see if they can keep this momentum going. We're already, I mean, it's been so fast. We're already going to the last round of the first half.
Yeah, those first 2 rounds went by lickety-split because of the triple cap dominations early after the 3-player sweep for the Pittsburgh Knights. And in that round, a little bit more slowly, a little bit more methodical, but with Xploidz in the long shot, you've got to play that way around the map. You can't just play up into your opponent and hope that some miracle happens. He doesn't really get to put on a highlight reel, but because of all that trepidation by the Knights, because of that long shot in the hands of Xploidz, they come away with such a commanding point lead that as the Knights try to pressure across the map, there's just not enough time. They get taken down and out, and that would have been the end of the round.
All right, so last round of the first half. See how it ends up playing. I mean, you know, that sniper definitely changed things, as it should. You don't see that impactful winch fight, which, let's face it, Rebel simply wasn't winning that. Pittsburgh Knights had their number without question. Raver looks to maybe make a move, but he's going to be stalemated. Xploidz on the opposite side. Identivez will throw out an ensign that doesn't amount to much at all, and now he's going to be opposite of Crack up top. Good utility thrown. It's going to be avoided, and Identivez creates that spacing he needed.
Identivez will pressure back up toward Crack. Doesn't get that first shot to really connect, but the second one does get a little bit more damage. Rotates back down. He's going to get Lancered out in the back and get taken down. Unsure if anybody's in the area to even help contest toward him. He gets taken out, and Kardia getting that long shot. This is where things will start to slow down for the side of Rebel as they will await the Pittsburgh Knights to push back into him.
Nice angle from Mono. Dezo falls. Raver will get there for the pickup, but they're going to have some pressure on him for sure, and still not feeling too comfortable to make any headway. Dezo may be threatening to, or he just wants to get pressure on, or shots on for the neutral. And Identivez gets the decap. Can he get the full cap? Crack is forced to back away. He takes a bit too much damage. Identivez might slide back down to get onto the neutral, but in the meantime, we're still, I mean, how many initials have we had at this point, Colin?
You can reset it and try it all again, time and time again, as it is still 82-82. We're not even in the triple digi mark right now. Finally, the triple cap domination starts to get threatened by Dezonide. He's going to go down. He was on his third down and out, by the way, I believe.
His body just flew.
He gets just flubbed out right there off to the side. Double cap comes in for the Pittsburgh Knights, though, and this is where they will start to get their point lead well in their favor and try to put the pressure on to the side of Rebel and see if they can just make a mistake finally.
They might be able to overload the neutral, especially with the sniper not breathing down their neck. Like, this could be where Rebel finds another opportunity. Their only issue, well, Raver first and foremost on the overextension. He's going to have to be kept in check by Monkyz, but player 4 also had the winch side, which was great for, you know, lancering out the neutral, but he gives that up and then he rotates back down. I don't know what the game plan was, but either way, a new push is in, and Pittsburgh Knights are looking to meet Rebel head on. And they've got it. I mean, really, honestly, at this point, if Rebel can hold off Pittsburgh Knights on this push and they're not successful, I mean, this could be a round for Rebel, but Fearzly finds a way to get onto the home hill as player 8 was trying to keep him in check, but now he's gone.
Player 8, this is going to be Kardia trying to stay alive in this cubby corner. Dezonide's going to go down right there. Beautiful help coming through. Down at the B hill, home-to-home stretch has not been enacted just yet. The 2-to-1 advantage has not been enacted either. One player is going to be pressuring out. That's going to be Fearzly. See if he can find anything here as he's going to get a flash thrown at him. Looking through the smoke, I don't know if he got that mark off, but he did get some snub damage out. But you can see in the middle of the map, the long shot gets picked by Rebel yet again. And that's where things get very interesting for Rebel. They now have their favorite play toy back.
And Monkyz just won the fight against Identivez to secure and hold on to the neutral. He wins a secondary fight against Raver, and he's going to stop him from crawling in. Just maybe show him a little bit of love, but man, Rebel ties up the first half 2-2 to head into the second, and Monkyz a big reason for that.
Without a doubt, Monkyz leading the charge for his squadron. I said at the beginning of this, if he won this matchup, it was going to be like that scene from Troy asking why he was left for this. And right now, I mean, he is making good on that promise of mine. I mean, he is making the Pittsburgh Knights look like they did not know what they were doing when they made that trade for Identivez.
Okay, Marksa up top, fine, placeholder, fair enough, but still deadly enough to make it worthwhile to fight for, without question. You get a Marksa player on the winch.
TJ.
Dude, I'm telling you, TJ was on training grounds, bro. I thought the Marksa was just like, whatever. TJ just dismantled. I forget who they were playing against, but it was just disgusting to watch. And Identivez wants that Marksa for sure, but he's forced to back away. In fact, he's going to drop, and who is that up front? That's going to be Kardia, or it should be Raver, who tries to go for the pick, but he's not going to be able to get it. And Monkyz somehow kills Crack in the meantime. He'll take down anybody. He's non-discriminatory.
Yeah, it's a good job by Crack, you know, exerting his dominance. But they have all the power weapons and the I can tell you right now, that Marksa in the hands of Monkyz is as deadly as it is in anybody else's hands on the face of the earth. And they're continuing to apply pressure around the map. Xploidz the long shot in his hand. They're looking to shut this down in 3, Taylor. They want to take a 3-2 lead right here and continue forward in the second half and put the pressure on the Pittsburgh Knights.
Oh, without a doubt, brother. I mean, that's definitely the game plan. Could you blame them? I mean, 60 seconds for that round. They officially take a lead. That's their first lead that they've managed to acquire. But the most important part is 3 in a row. And Sniper was placed in round 2. Correct? No, Sniper was placed in round 3, right, Colin?
I thought it was round 1.
Well, okay, so that it was after round 1, transitioning into round 2. Okay, so snipers play. So PK only won.
Thing off almost immediately. Like, no,
immediately.
We didn't like that triple cap domination.
So okay, all right. PK did win a round with the sniper, but they haven't found much success since. Ooh, trying to think. I mean, Identivez took way too much early damage on Stern. I think he felt he was going to be able to just walk up there and, you know, kind of just out-muscle anybody from Rebel who was up there, which he does consistently well. I think, you know, Identivez is one of the top players on the top fight on Harbor. Like, he just does it in a special way, but it just didn't happen. I mean, look at how confident Crack is pushing. Granted, missing every single shot possible, but hitting a big one on Identivez, that'll at least stop the fight for Nat. Well, never mind. He goes for the push.
It'll at least stop the fight for Brad. It'll stop the fight.
I thought Identivez was going to back away, but he pushed.
And Monkyz is just he's gonna come down to help his teammate before rotating back up to pick up the new Marksa.
This is wild to me, dude. This is like, Rebel, you're blowing my mind, baby, and I gotta say I'm here for it. I'm liking it. I mean, Rebel, you are looking good. You are looking really good. Ink. I don't know, man. This is wild to me, bro. 50 seconds. They bested the last round, which was 60 seconds. 1 round away from 3-0ing Pittsburgh Knights, which, funny enough, looking at Pittsburgh Knights' record, you know, they've taken 2 losses so far. One was to Rise in a map 5, but one was to Northern Forces where they lost 3-0. And I hate to say it, I know it's your father, brother, but that shouldn't, I didn't think that was going to happen. But Cell said it best. That was a statement match. And then they might lose 3-0 to Rebel. So, sheesh.
Hey.
Not day.
Sheesh indeed. Sheesh indeed.
Sheesh indeed, bro. I mean, I'm blown away, bro. I really am. This is wild to me.
Coming out into the next round, everybody rolling out of spawn, coming to that mid lane for the long shot. Up top, Monkyz will take this fight again. His attempt to continue to win that Marksa.
Mark's is deadly for sure. The Kardia. Oh, Monkyz, yo, do it, okay! Yo! Monkyz said, put some respect on my name. Stats aren't everything. Stats aren't everything, but baby, I'm still Monkyz. I'm still one of the best in the world, okay? Man. Looking to close this in a way of a domination. Rebel, you see what their game plan, or excuse me, what am I talking about? It won't be a domination. They're just trying to get their home hill back, which they will be successful in doing so. So Rebel, game plan, stop Pittsburgh Knights from overextending. Look at player 7, though, hiding in the shadows. Monkyz ready to make a move. He's behind 2. There's 1, and there's, come on, you got it, baby. You really do, and there's gonna be 2, and maybe 3 for Monkyz. He will get the triple by hiding in the shadows, and that will allow Rebel to beat the Pittsburgh Knights 3-0. And they're just styling. They don't even want to end it yet, bro. They just want kills.
Looking fantastic tonight. This Rebel team, this is the team that I need to see every time out of spawn. This is what causes me to have so much cause me to lose my mind whenever I cast over them because I just don't know what I'm going to get, my brother. They are a box of chocolates indeed.
Dude, look, you can argue all you want. E-Days, we play differently and this and that. No, I don't want to hear any of that, bro, because there are teams that play dominantly in Pro League and they go into Rise, for example, plays dominant in Pro League. They go to E-Days and they dominate E-Days. Okay, you can play the same and you can have the same intensity in Pro League just as much as you can have in E-Days. Okay, it is a choice to make. How hard do you want to play in both? But hell, Rebel, that 3-0 victory over PK just now, bro, I'm telling you, like, you bring that energy in the major, holy crap. The impact can be felt. Yo, that is a big win, Colin. That is a big win that I didn't expect.
I didn't see that one coming. Not at all. Not in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I didn't see that one coming that way. Especially not 3-0, especially after that first map. Just, jeez, baby.
I mean, bro, you tried to give it. I regret it. You know what's funny? I almost said, let me take Rebel with it. I almost did it. And I don't know if I almost convinced you, to be honest. I mean, you're very stoic at times. I can't tell. But I was like, just vote Rebel. I tried to give one to you too, baby. But, I mean, I really look theoretical, all right? But seriously, if PK doesn't lose Ritual Control, do they lose this series?
We'll never know, Taylor.
Okay, so you don't even want to go. It's like you see those videos of, you know, someone asking like a theoretical. It's like an older man. He's like, man, just shut up. Like, I don't want to even talk about this. Colin's like, no, I don't even care. Like, we'll never know. You're right.
We aren't gonna know because the Knights rolled over and Rebel didn't. Rebel put everything they had into the second half of that map 1 and map 2 and map 3. We'll never know because Rebel played like their life depended on it, it seemed like.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, Monkyz, just, man, that man put up some big scary numbers today. No more scary than on Ephyra. What, like, I think 11-2, 13-2, something like that. I'll take a look. He went 13-2. I mean, whew, that is crazy, Rebel. But hey, you got the win. I'm impressed. Like, sincerely impressed, Rebel. You blow my mind. Monkyz, you played well. Crack had the highest KD whenever it came down to map number 3. I'm hyping up Fearzly as the #1 KD, KDA. None of that mattered. None of that mattered. That map 1 hurt PK, dude. That map 1 hurt PK a lot. There's no question about it. I think it deflated him. I really did. And that composure that we normally see, right? That, I'm going to use the word that's not a word, comeback ability. Didn't happen, Colin. It's not a word. Don't even think about it. It's comeback ability is not a word because it's a stupid word. It wouldn't be a word. But no, man, that map 1 hurt him. Hurt him.
It did.
It hurt him. Hurt him, baby.
Shout out one time Tyler Breeze, aka Breezes, for that. Hurt him.
Who's Breezes? Who's that?
Tyler Breeze is a WWE wrestler, and whenever he plays Uno on his stream, whenever somebody has a draw 4 or somebody gets Uno, the second the next person in line next to the player with Uno that has it, he just starts going, hard him. Hard him, because he wants you to put like a draw 2, draw 4 down, like something ridiculous. And that's the way he calls that out, is hard him.
Just make a montage of just saying hurt him. Dude, that's awesome, man. Woo! Speaking of, who would be the best Uno player in Pro League?
Franchise.
Why just hold up? Why just Fred? Just straight up, just Fred is the best Uno player. I know he's not the best golfer.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this, baby. I'm gonna be honest with you. I learned my lesson a long time ago. There are 3 people that I've met through Gears that I do not bet against when it comes to any kind of game, like tabletop game, card game, like horse, doesn't matter. You don't bet against Franchise, Ryan, or Benson. Don't do it.
Don't bet against Vincent.
Oh, nope. Never gonna do it. So when you said only players, I was like, all right, I can pick Fran. That's easy. Pick Fran.
I say Gears Pro League, man. I say Gears Pro League.
I still pick Fran. He's a pro. You see that man?
I see it.
The other day when he rolled out of spawn for the Funky Bunch. Shout out one time.
Man, today was just a wild day, and I'm gonna say there were a lot of incredible moments, a lot of letdowns, and but hey, I wasn't let down with the Rebel 3-0 victory. The memes are coming. I already know it. I'm gonna accept it.
I'll give a.
I know. Hey, look, Con, I know you don't.
Hey, look, get evil with these memes. If you want to come at me with the same energy that y'all had tonight against Pittsburgh Knights.
All right,
come at
Baron.
me.
Hey, you want to send the memes? Then you hit us hard. You hit me and Colin hard. Hard us.
Hey,
okay, hard us. Hey, we had a lot of great plays today. Like I said, letdowns, but there was one play that stood out amongst the best of them, and it was Dyslexic. He earned your eSwap X Pro Controller Play of the Day. We go back to Vascar. Dyslexic on the home hill, baby. Not backing down.
That second shot is just aiming up the damaging shot, going for the down. Beautiful snub fire here. Snubs out enough to get a damaging shot on. Gets the down. Back A for another down. And then he lets that player double slide in. Both of them get those kills.
And I think he finishes
the way that he plays his distance right here, the distance damage, is the best part of this. He stays just outside of that chunk range to where he's not going to lose the meat shield. Gets the down, drops the meat, sees the secondary player come up, aims up that one. Now watch this. Back A out for the down. Now he's going to be in this last one. Back A, secondary slide by Nash. Back A's him again for that next down.
And he finishes on a 6 kill streak, Colin. Like, that was incredible. And I believe that started with the 1v2, and that 1v2 was really everything. Like, Dyslexic made a lot of great plays today. And even on Vaskar, I soloed him out. Like, you know, his 1v spots have definitely been a bit shaky, a bit rocky. And he did make some boneheaded plays, but like he was consistently in a 1v2, and I give that to Casa de Papel. I mean, they were specifically trying to, you know, focus him any chance that they possibly could, and specifically in a 2v1. But he played out of his gourd, he played out of his mind, and I appreciated every bit of it. It was a weird day, but a good day, Colin. A really good day. You got to see your father play. They didn't win, but you still got to see that. Fury won.
Right?
Huh?
Forces got 3-0'd by Fury. Knights got 3-0'd by Rebel.
Right.
Rise 3-0.
E-United 3-0'd.
E-United 3-0. Did we have 50?
Oh my gosh, we did. Yeah. Oh my lord, we had all 3-0s. That hasn't happened since like like day 1 or day 2 or something. Wow, okay. Getting this close to Major, we are starting to see that great divide start to set up. Like, teams are clearly better than other teams. And, I mean, you only have 1 week to, you know, lock it in place. That's not a lot of time, Colin.
Still a lot of time. I mean, 7 more days at least of scrims before, you know, you got to roll out a Sprawn next Friday. Still got an E-Days and the playoffs for E-Days coming up. So you got there's a lot of gears to be played for these guys to try to get in the rhythm.
Look at these standings, man. Rise 8-0. They're looking to finish 9-0. Matter of fact, who is their final? So they have to play against E-United. There's no guarantees there by any means, but they're looking to finish 9-0. Rebel in second place. The storyline you brought to the table, Colin, at the beginning was we could see a historic event, right? Rebel finishing below, you know, Fury 1 or whoever else, but that doesn't happen. Fury 1's still in a respectable 5th place. Now, they are above KCP. Now, that is a storyline to take home and definitely take home into the Major. We haven't seen KCP placed out of the top 5 in a long time, actually ever.
Not since the inception of that squad, really, and that'll be interesting to see how they go into the Major again. They finished top 3 last split with barely any little to no practice last split. So I mean, I'm curious to see if they're gonna clean anything up.
Yeah, I mean, again, placing outside of top 5, I don't think they're going to be too phased. I don't know if they've ever really taken Pro League that seriously, honestly, and I hate to say that, but that's just the way it is. And same thing for E-Days. Majors is where they truly wake up and, you know, find their rhythm. But either way, though, they've definitely taken some hits, and I think both, you know, on-screen and off-screen as well as a roster. I'm curious how they're going to be able to perform during the Major without question. But money's money, and money talks, baby, and they're looking to make their money without question. It was a pretty good day, and tomorrow's, I got to say it, Colin, permission to say it. Tomorrow's the final day of Gears Pro League. All right, I had to say it, Colin, because it's a factual statement, okay? We got Casa de Papel against Fury 1, Rebel, KCP, Team Queso, Northern Forces, and Rise and E-United. Rise and E-United is not going to change who's in first. I'm pretty sure that Rise definitively have first place locked down. But if Rise wants to hold on to the undefeated record, they've got to beat E-United, Colin.
The final night of Gears 5 Pro League, 3 years in the making almost.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of matches, a lot of pro players, a lot of fantastic moments. 4 more matches will roll out of Spawn. Make sure you're there. Celebrate the best moments. Relive them maybe. Talk about them in chat. But lo and behold, support your favorite players going forward. That's what counts the most.
And also when, you know, Gears, well, we still have some more Gears competitive. We'll talk about that, but you're right. You know, you're right. It's been a fun day, Colin. You know, our last Gears Pro League broadcast. I hate to say it, but we are at the end, and it's been amazing. You know, bonding with you, casting with you throughout the entirety of my at least introduction into Gears. It's been amazing. It's been an amazing run, an amazing couple of years. I love you, man. You know, you're awesome, and I love all of you guys in chat. You guys are incredible. I've really bonded with all of you. Even the new ones, even Ink, I bonded with you. I know we don't see eye to eye all the time, but I love you, I really do. And I love all the pro players and everything. And, you know, it's my job to be critical. It's not easy. But, you know, at the end of the day, I have nothing but love for all of you guys out there. I'm not an emotional guy. I don't cry. I'm probably not going to cry here. I'm trying not to. But you guys are wonderful. And I love every single one of you and all the talent team. Colin, what do you have to say, baby? Oh, God. Here we go.
No, because I look at it this way. Guys. I got my shot in Gears 4. I never thought I'd get the chance to be a Pro League guy. I watched Jacob MVPR and Blaze take over Pro League at the start of 5. I ran it off stream, did my own thing. And then when everything came online and they started running the whole program through the UMG people, Ryan took a shot on me early on as just a human being by being so cool with me when he first started seeing me at events and seeing how much I really invested and loved in the game. And UMG gave me the opportunity to cast week in and week out on Gears Pro League. And I have tried everything in my body to give you guys a good show every week. I wanted you guys to feel like your favorite players got highlighted, your favorite plays got highlighted, you guys got highlighted, because at the end of the day, we're all Gears. Coalition ordered governments would not exist without its Gears. Prescott would tell you a million times over. Hoffman would tell you a million times over. Good gear is worth 10 regular people. All of you are good Gears. And I thank each and every one of you for being here week in and week out with us. I cannot appreciate you enough for all that you've done for the scene, because the fans are what keep this alive. And I keep telling people, Gears, after the nuclear apocalypse, it's going to be us and Cher. Can't kill Gears, can't kill Cher after nuclear apocalypse. And roaches. All three of us will be here hanging out. I hope you guys enjoy tomorrow as much as I will. But for now, I say for now, for the hopes and dreams deep down in my soul. For now, love each and every one of you guys. You know how much it means to me to be here.
And, man, I know that comes from the heart, baby. I know that comes out from the heart. It's weird that this is the final day. Anyways, I know we gotta close the show. I'm gonna bring it back up, Colin. We do have the All-Star Draft tomorrow. All right, we excited for that. So we will be back technically for at least at the end of Gears Pro League. We got the All-Star Draft. I hope you're picking your roster, but if not, that's fine too, because you might have a championship roster. Okay, but that's whatever way you got to do it, baby. I see you out there, but I'm doing. I tell you what, I'm doing my homework.
Look, so I had to. I will admit, I hired a GM. I called Ryan, just like Belichick, baby. I said I need the best coach. No, I'm just kidding. Ryan's not picking my team for me. If I could afford Ryan, he would pick my team. I swear it.
Okay. So just gonna leave it at that. It's a mystery. Just like my first round pick is. Anyways, we got All-Star Draft tomorrow. It's gonna be after Gears Pro League, so make sure to stay tuned, stick around, so you can get a sneak peek of who the casters, me, Colin, Jacob, and Blaze are gonna be picking to play on Saturday for the Gears All-Star event. It's gonna be a fun time, but hey, all good things must come to an end, and this is one of those good things. For myself, Taylor Reflections, Noble, Connor, Crow Clark, our production team, and you in chat, thank you for being here for Gears Pro League Split 4 Day 9, and be back for the conclusion and the All-Star Draft tomorrow starting at 5 Eastern. We'd love to have you.